to my channel. It's Christy here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you don't know your Moon and Rising sign, Virgo, there's a link in the description box where you can find your whole birth chart. And that way, for additional information for the week, you can always look at your Moon and Rising sign readings as well as your Sun sign reading today. So this is for Virgo for the week of August 22nd to August 29th. We're looking at general issues for your sign. So whatever you find here that's helpful in healing, please use to your advantage. Whatever doesn't match your situation this week, just disregard. We'll be using the Wisdom of the Oracle Tarot for a 3-card spread today. We're looking at a central issue, the cause, and a probable outcome, and using the bottom of the deck card for energy for the whole week. And then, as always, drawing from the Healing with the Angels Tarot and the Medicine card Tarot for additional messages. So Virgo, this is a general reading. Please keep that in mind. And if you're finding that nothing here matches your situation or very little, do try your Moon and Rising sign readings. They might be a little bit more helpful, although I do hope that you find at least some of this helpful. So what does Virgo need to know? All right, when I get a clump that turns around like that, I do keep shuffling. I'm looking for 2 more individual jumping cards. Sweet. Okay, Virgo. So let's look at the total theme here with all 4 cards together, and then we will look at them one by one together. These 2 did jump out together and landed. That's why I took them. If there are 3 or more, I generally won't. That's why I took these. So general consensus about what's going on here in totality. Someone is making big changes in their life, my dear Virgo. Someone is looking at primary balance of issues. Someone is looking at taking a step back from things that you have identified don't work for you, spiritually, economically, socially, whatever world that is for you. You're willing to take a step back from that and really take yourself to task about how you can improve it, polish it, or completely get rid of it. You are willing to take a hard look at something this week because honesty and love and truth are more important to you. And this is not the first time I see this going on for you. This is growing. This is becoming an attitude. So this is really beautiful to see. You also probably feel as though you've accomplished something similar to this in the recent past, and you feel emboldened by this. You feel very secure in making these moves continually here. So congratulations, because yeah, it was probably whatever you have had to overcome here was probably significant, and good on you for staying strong and keeping the momentum going. In terms of giving something a rest, a belief, like I said, a belief system, an attitude, a way of life, even a kind of what do we say, like a type of like a hatred. I don't think you're willing to do that anymore. I think you're willing to take your attitude about these things to task. So really great stuff here, Virgo. In the card that represents the general energy for the week is Poised. This is why I'm really sure that you are ready to take the leap into something else that you've already had success in. So let's just say you've dismantled something in your life, no matter the theme or subject, that you didn't believe on some level you could for the longest time, and then you finally took it to task and you succeeded in your definition of success. This is what is emboldening you to keep it up. This is a really beautiful energy to carry out into the week. this basically just means that you have what it takes to get through both good and hard times. And you wouldn't think that someone would have to say that about a good time, right? But sometimes people can be very distressed by success, or success can bring even more, believe it or not, it can bring even more anxiety because people now feel an association or an identification with what they've succeeded with, or the outcome of their success, which could be status, which could be wealth, which could be partnerships, etc. So I really feel like you're challenging yourself here to stay true to the process and not the outcome. So this is why I think that no matter what you are engaged in this week, you feel really confident in going ahead and really pushing those personal limits for yourself in a really wise, thoughtful, I can do this way, not in a I'm setting myself up for failure way. I really feel like you have been through something and you have pure confidence in yourself that you can do it again. And furthermore, that if it doesn't work out, you have the confidence that you'll find another way to do it. This is huge. This is really big news for any sign, frankly, Virgo. So it's a really beautiful way to start out any endeavor through the week. In the card that represents you this week, or the central theme, is the time for a nap. This is what I'm speaking about when I talk about putting something to rest. Is it that you could need extra rest from something? Yes. As in an actual sleep or taking time off of something? Sure, it could. It could just mean physical rest. But I'm seeing a golden opportunity here in dissolving something, getting away from something, removing yourself from something that, like I mentioned just a moment ago, that you feel like you were more or over attached to, or erroneously attached to. So outcome as opposed to process. Many people get attached to the outcome, right? And 10 to 1, the outcome is always going to be a letdown on some level. But if you're attached to the process, if you are willing to go with the flow, and you're dedicated and committed to the process, no matter where it leads you, because you're doing it with the higher intention, you've got the best intentions here. You're doing it because you, like I said, you trust that you can get through this. I really think you're going to be putting something to the test here. So there is a golden opportunity regardless. If this is an actual physical nap, fine. Get that rest that you need this week. There could be the golden opportunity within a dream or even a daydream this week. But what I'm seeing here with regard to the totality of the spread, I'm seeing you giving something a rest. So a belief system, an ideology, behavior. Like I said, when I threw the word hate in there, I meant that. If you've been hating on someone or hating something, or hating a part of yourself, God forbid, I really feel this is the week where you're just like, even if it's a matter of experimentation, which to me is all the more fun, let's be honest, Virgo. I mean, no one's going to say that you can't go into doing something with a little bit of skepticism. Maybe go into it and say, I'm going to see if this works for me. But if you're doing it from the heart and you're doing it for the highest intentions, it could become more fun that way. And if you're injecting fun into this process, and you're keeping, like I said, the process, not the outcome, as king, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at how you feel about giving something up that isn't working for you, regardless of your prior attachment to it. I just feel like it's going to be 100 times easier for you to get rid of something that doesn't work for you anymore this week. It's glorious to see. In what is influencing or causing the current situation is building blocks. And this is where I'm seeing you dismantling something in order to create something more beautiful or more significant, or more applicable, right? I mean, you're not the same person you were last year or 10 years ago. So maybe you're trying to disassemble or dismantle something that truly doesn't represent who you are anymore, right? That could be alliances, it could be a relationship, or it could be deep within your own mind. It could be a belief system or an ideology. However this is playing out for you this week, you're willing to tear something apart in order to build something else. At the very least, Virgo, this week you're going to be identifying what has built you to this level, or what has gotten you to this foundation that you are currently, and you're going to start assessing it. Like I said, in a sense of, let's look at what I can live without this week. Let's look at an attitude or behavior, etc., that I can do without this week, and then play around with that, right? You have the common sense and the wherewithal to do that this week, like I said, and it's not because you just you're not making it up, right? This is something that you've already been through, that you've experienced, and so wherever this has been experienced before, where you've gained the self-confidence to move ahead in this direction, is really illuminating everything around you. It's really illuminating the probability for more positive outcomes for yourself. So it's a really self-respect and self-confidence is another way to sort of read the energy underneath what's happening this week as well. So it's a really beautiful way to go about addressing any problem in the world, frankly, whether it's internal or external to you. And the probable outcome card is one of my favorite cards from this deck. You've probably heard me say it before, is truth be told. 3 major significant things are happening in this card. The first is that a mask is being taken off. There's no room for masks this week. Another term for mask is a lie, a deception, an untruth, right? We're looking at uncovering truths. We're looking at the heart of a matter. You can see the dozens of hearts around this wise owl. There's a lot of heart involved. You're not playing games. This isn't about being liked either. You probably will be, because who can hate someone who's doing something with heart? But you're not doing what you're going about here for the likes, if you will. And I don't just mean social media, I mean in your natural world, friends, peers, coworkers, etc. This is more important to you. And of course, the final theme here is wisdom. Look at the barn owl's huge, wide eyes. Someone is more interested in truth-telling and wisdom. The wisdom behind being able to tell the truth here. The experience behind telling the truth and what happens when you do. You feel lighter, okay? Other people may have to grapple with it, but I think if you do it with love in your heart, I think that it's going to be eventually easy on everybody. And if you do it if you're poised with self-confidence and self-respect, you can help others achieve that as well, just by having them watch you, okay? Some people might even, okay, that's a little lump here, let's keep going. Some people might even be asking, how are you doing this week? Or, where do you get the confidence to do this? If that's going on, really understand that they're asking because they see a big significant change or a unique difference in how you're going about settling something in your life, or rearranging it, or finding out if it even belongs in your life any longer. So that's another group of cards too. Let's get one more jumper here from this deck. All right, freedom. Well, no kidding, eh? Really, my dear Virgo, no kidding. When you have this type of self-confidence and self-respect, and the heart leads the way, and you are in pursuit of truth as opposed to deception, you're willing to let go of something that doesn't work for you and to assess or reassess what you've already built so far, I'm telling you, this is what it's going to feel like. This is pure freedom. This is the moment where you get to be your own master, if you will. If you don't like that term, call it your own guide, your own voice of reason. Basically, it's the opposite of slavery, okay? That's what this is all about. And everything that manifests into the physical world begins in the mind. And in order to be believed, you have to feel it in the heart. This is a really great, the freedom card is honestly one of the greatest summaries of this whole reading. I mean it. This is what it's going to feel like this week for you, Virgo. And it's going to feel good. That's a darn good feeling. Freedom, okay? And again, if this is emotional, psychological, environmental, economic, romantic, whatever is most prominent in your life, this is how it's, and you apply this theme to it this week, you'll be so emboldened. You'll be free. And the more beautiful thing about that, Virgo, in my opinion, is that you've set yourself free. That's actually genius, okay? A lot of people want other people or other organizations, or God forbid the government, to set them so-called free, right? Or to arrange or decide their rights and freedoms, etc. When you do this for yourself, this is a whole other level of freedom from tyranny, from deception, right? So really beautiful to see this for you. I'm really happy that you're able to do this for yourself. Let's get one more card here and see what the Medicine Card Tarot has to say about the spread. All right, if we don't get a card, say in the next couple of shuffles, I'll pull from this. Never mind. We got one. Wowzers. Okay, my dear Virgo, this is actually beautiful, and I know in your heart of hearts you know what this means right now. So the Deer's key word is gentleness. No surprise, right? Pure gentleness, pure kindness, even soft. There's a softness here, and I really feel like this is the way you're going about it. I don't think, maybe about a month ago you were being hard on yourself, right? Maybe sort of beginning of July. And I'm speaking about like your weekly readings here from what I've been seeing. I think you were being a little bit hard on yourself and really, but you were considering and then accepting challenges. And this is the outcome of them. And I see this being a predominant theme here. I think you've seen this work for yourself, a gentle approach to these themes, a gentle sway, gentle conversations, gentle outlooks. Gaining that self-respect and self-confidence is through being gentle with yourself as opposed to hard on yourself. So really beautiful to see here, Virgo. If you have a second, comment, let me know how this works out for you this week. And if you're not already, subscribe to my channel because I upload videos for your sign every week. Take good care, Leo. See you next, Virgo. I will see you next time. Bye for now.